Hi guys, in the previous video, we have looked at the necessary gears for placements, whether they are on campus or off campus. In this video, we will understand about the next step of placement, that is, to understand what are the most important skills that the recruiter is looking for in a candidate so that we can prepare for these skills. First, I would like to begin this video by telling you that even though we place a lot of weightage on getting good grades, but a lot of times you will see that students with not so good grades may get a better job than those who have really good grades. Although, this does not mean that you should not try to get good grades. You should always try to score well. So, why do you think that is? Well, it's got nothing to do with luck, if that's what you are thinking, but with practical knowledge and skills of that student. Working in a company is very different from studying in a college. While studies place a lot of importance on theoretical knowledge and good grades, jobs place a lot of importance on skills and practical knowledge. In this video, let us understand what skills an employer looks for while hiring an employee. There are three types of skills that are most commonly tested by employers. One is aptitude, second is subject-specific knowledge or skills, and the third is soft skills. Now, apart from these, you may have also heard of another type of test called a psychometric test. But we will not be talking about those at this stage. We will talk about those when we cover the written tests in detail in Module 3. Now, most often than not, the employers conduct tests to evaluate you on these three skills. So, let us understand what these skills mean and what tests are conducted to test these skills. Let us start with aptitude. Aptitude is a natural ability to do things. Some people have an aptitude for writing well, while some may have an aptitude for teaching, for coding, or for convincing people. Different job roles require you to have an aptitude for different things, such as if you want to apply for a client interaction job profile, then you must have an aptitude for dealing with difficult and tricky situations quickly to be able to think of solutions on your toes. While if you are applying for a profile of an ethical hacker, you must have an aptitude for finding loopholes and for looking at things under a microscope, that is, in great detail. Aptitude tests are conducted to check for a person's aptitude. These tests mostly test you on your perception, reasoning, memory, problem-solving ability, etc. So, when preparing for aptitude tests, prepare well for such questions. We will talk about this in detail in Module 3. Next up is subject-specific knowledge or skills. The name makes it clear what we mean by these skills. These are the skills that are specific to the subject or area in which you are applying for a role. So, for example, a person applying for an Android app developer's role must have the knowledge of developing Android apps. She should have the practical skills for the same and should be able to code an Android app. Similarly, a person applying for a blog writer's role must be good with grammar and should have a flair for writing interesting content. Subject-specific tests are conducted to test for these skills and they are specific for each profile. The third type of skill that an employer is looking for are soft skills. Soft skills are personal habits and traits that shape how you work on your own and with others. Some examples of soft skills are effective communication, time management, problem solving, critical thinking, decision making, stress management, etc. Now, it is difficult to conduct assessments to test for soft skills. So, employers test you on these skills during the GD round and personal interviews. But some companies may conduct a written test to check for your command over English language. We will talk about these in detail in Module 3. Coming back to the interview. They ask you such questions during the interviews which give them an idea about where you stand on the soft skills that are relevant to the job role. So, we have understood about all these three types of skills. Make sure you are well prepared to score well on these. Also, please ensure that you revise your core subjects well and you can also take trainings or online courses to learn new skills that you can add to your resume. The more the skills on your resume, the more are your chances of beating others to the competition. Like we said earlier, employers look for practical knowledge and skills in an employee. Hence, make sure you mention these skills on your resume. With this, we come to the end of this video and this module. In this module, we have learned about on-campus and off-campus placements. Then we saw the necessary required gears for placements, and at the end, we went through the most important skills that the employer tests an employee on. Now, it's time for an interesting fact about skills that are required for placements. Attention to detail is an important skill usually tested by the employers. It is important that you not only read the question properly, but the answers you write should also demonstrate that you pay attention to minute details.